What's up, people? It's election day. Here's Sean Hannity. Before you vote.
But first, I want to lay out my closing arguments about what is at stake in this election. This is as big a choice election as I have seen in my lifetime. It's a choice between Donald Trump, a candidate who says he'll drain the swamp in Washington and bring about real change, or Hillary Clinton, the most corrupt career politician who's ever run for this office. And if she wins tomorrow, probably will face years of intense scrutiny, congressional investigations, and maybe even impeachment. Now, Clinton is the epitome of everything we hate about politics. And while their campaign, they're celebrating FBI Director James Comey, essentially so-called closing the case into a private email server. Let me remind you that the Bureau has been investigating pay-to-play allegations at the Clinton Foundation for the past year and will pursue that probe no matter what happens tomorrow. And by the way, 5 foreign intelligence agencies, they have access to those emails. Now, WikiLeaks also exposed Bill Clinton Inc. Remember that? The elaborate scheme directly tied to the foundation that Bill Clinton used to fatten his own paycheck, $116 million. And then there's Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton. Well, she appears to have been using foundation money, which is intended for charity, to pay for her wedding and her living expenses for up to a decade. And according to the Associated Press, remember when Hillary was Secretary of State, 55% of non-government people who met with her, well, they were people that either gave money to the foundation or pledged money to the Clinton Foundation. There's also the tens of millions or more dollars that the Clinton Foundation has accepted from countries that treat women horribly. They kill gays and lesbians.
Saudi Arabia.
Christians and Jews, all treated horribly. Not to mention, as WikiLeaks has exposed, the mainstream media is now completely in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and it is way worse than any of us could have imagined, especially CNN, and we'll deal with that after the election. Now, the abusively biased news media barely covered WikiLeaks and Clinton scandals, so what makes you think they'll actually do it if she's occupying the Oval Office? Now, last night we found out from WikiLeaks that CNN solicited the DNC for tough questions to ask Donald Trump, Senator Ted Cruz, Carly Fiorina. Now, it's pretty clear they'll do anything and everything to protect Hillary Clinton. And speaking of the corrupt media, now they've been saying this race is over, but that could not be further from the truth. I think this race, so all of you understand, this is a winnable race for Donald Trump tomorrow. Now, the path to 270 electoral
Yeah, baby.
is not easy, but it is possible.
Nothing's easy. We're going to win.
I tried to warn all of you. I wanted to warn the country about how radical President Obama was. My warnings, they apparently weren't enough. Remember I tried to warn you about Frank Marshall Davis and Reverend Wright and a Alinsky disciple that he was, and Acorn, and, the Church of G.D. America, Bernardine Dorn, Bill Ayers. I was right about how terrible he'd be for this country. And Hillary Clinton, that's going to be more of the same. If you elect Hillary Clinton tomorrow, you're going to get the government you deserve. And guess what? Anybody that helps support her, you own it. Look at the economy, for example, of Barack Obama. The lowest labor participation rate since the 1970s. Almost 95 million of our fellow Americans out of the labor force. The worst recovery since the 1940s. The lowest home ownership rate in 51 years. 13 million more Americans on food stamps. 8 million more Americans in poverty. Over 43 million Americans total in poverty. 1 in 5 American families don't have a single family member in the workforce. 1 in 6 men, 18 to 34, prime working years, they're either in jail or living in mommy and daddy's basement.
That's right.
By the time Obama leaves office, this president will have accumulated
Folks, show your family.
3 other presidents before him combined.
Show your family.
That's how Donald Trump plans to fix this. He's going to lower taxes.
Anybody wants to
tax code.
vote for Hillary.
7 tax brackets to 3 tax brackets. Trump will end the burdensome regulation. He'll push for 4% GDP growth. By the way, Obama, the first president in history not to have a single year of 3% GDP growth.
Not a single freaking year.
Right here in America, insisting on free and fair trade. He'll incentivize those multinational corporations, and he's going to allow them to bring back not millions, not billions, but trillions of dollars into our economy with a low one-time 10% tax. That means factories and manufacturing centers will be built here. Donald Trump, he's talked about becoming energy independent, the lifeblood of our economy. That means we'll have fewer wars in the Middle East that we'll have to participate in. He'll expand coal mining. He'll expand domestic drilling, fracking, new technologies. Hillary, the exact opposite. She's promised to raise taxes, 1.2 trillion, spending 1.4 trillion. She's against lower tax rates for corporations. That means corporations won't invest here. She brags about putting coal miners out of work and coal companies out of business. Remember this.
I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean renewable energy as the key into coal country. Because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Those people labored in those mines
Not
for
cool.
generations, losing their health, often losing their lives to turn on our lights and power our factories. Now we've got to move away from coal and all the other fossil fuels.
Oh, great. If you're a coal miner, you're out of work now if she becomes president. Now, she's against domestic drilling. She's against fracking. Pennsylvania, you make a lot of money for fracking, and a lot of jobs have been created because of fracking. She obviously would rather that her Saudi rich donors, that they get the money instead of Americans getting good paying jobs and careers. She also supports terrible trade deals. How about the disaster that's Obamacare? It has destroyed America's healthcare system. Remember, the president and Hillary, they said you can keep your doctor, keep your plan. The average American family would save $20
Lies.
a year. But guess what? We know it's all a lie. Millions have lost their doctors, millions have lost their plans, and on average, the average American family has seen their health care premiums go up, on average, $4,100 per family. And the White House just admitted a few weeks ago that premiums are going to skyrocket next year by double digits. And yet Hillary, she defends it. Take a look.
The Republicans want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I take that really as a challenge, because before there was something called Obamacare, there was something called Hillary Care.
Oh yeah, we remember Hillary Claire.
Universal health care.
Well, that was just unbelievable. Hillary Care, I don't know if anybody knows it, failed disastrously. This is Rich Adamson. Like, subscribe, and share. Share this video with your friends before you go out and vote. All right? Anybody who wants to vote for this witch, share this with them. Thanks. Good luck.